there's one game in particular I'm looking for playing like a lot. I really want to play this game. That we're gonna talk about.
Doom.
Not just that one. Come on. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Nick. This is Brody. We are host of the WASD and Beyond podcast.
Dear God.
Too fast?
It was pretty quick, yeah.
Was it? Nick
A
and
little
Brody.
quick, a little aggressive.
Just in your face. Deeper in your face.
Oh my God.
I had to.
Vile within the first 20 seconds of the podcast.
I
Very good.
had to behave. Not really, because we're also doing. It came from SCREAMBOX right now, so like, I don't have to be good on that, but I am keeping myself aback a little bit. Like we talked about come a little bit on this week's episode of It Came from SCREAMBOX. Whatever. Welcome to the show, everybody. This is WASD. You had to be there. WASD and Beyond. Me, Brody, are your hosts. What's going on? This is the video game podcast. Don't forget we do that. We're not a movie podcast.
Sometimes.
Every week we do movies now.
Yeah. Now we are a movie podcast. Well, half of us are a movie podcast.
It's split. It's a good split.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show, though, everybody. This week's episode is going to be pretty cool. Before we get there, I want to shout out the sponsors. That is Final Boss. Look at that Counter-Strike shirt. It finally came in. Brody's walls are covered with Final Boss. My lights are obnoxious gamer lights right now, and I don't even remember turning those on like that.
Yeah, they're doing the gamer light thing for sure.
Very cool. Every time my big voice talks, that was a dumb sentence. Anyways, check out our sponsors. Final Boss, LONGY, the coolest merch in hip hop and music, and then check out SCREAMBOX for $38 a year. You can have all the horror your eyes could feast upon. Code SB38 at checkout to get SCREAMBOX for $38 a year. Scream at our movies, not our prices. While you're at it, if you fucking watch a movie there that you want to see, or you're confused, you want to see a movie, you don't know what to think about it, check out our series, It Came from Scream, weekly show where myself, Noah, and Alex talk about movies that we've watched on SCREAMBOX earlier in the week. Fun, good time, check it out. Then join the Spawn Camp Discord. Free. It's good. It's fun. I'm gonna have to like make a thing one day where it's just plugs. I swear. It's a good problem.
We're almost getting as many sponsors as like an F1 car at this point.
People, you ask and I'll say yeah. You could.
Oh, everyone knows that about you.
You could do like animal testing type shit on me. I'd be like, is that gonna further the podcast? And people like, it could. I'd be like, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. My eyebrows are gone forever. Fine. Anything for content. Anyways,
I'll keep my eyebrows, thanks.
Oh man. Well, I think like I already have very little eyes. I don't know. Look at these dimples. What? Like my face is getting fat and kind of going this way. Ooh-wee. Office jobs are different. I am out of one. Brody's like, we just get to it.
What do you want from me? I don't know what to comment on your eyebrows.
I feel like I'm talking like a coked out. But anyways, Brody,
a little bit.
How has your week been, and what have you been playing?
My week has been pretty good. I'm off work right now. Got a little bit of vacation in to go to kids' baseball tournaments this weekend. So been working on a lot of stuff around the house, just trying to get a bunch of projects and stuff done. But when I have had time to play, I have mainly been playing Expedition 33. I don't even think I've actually played anything else. I think that has been pretty much everything I've touched. I think maybe touched a little bit of Marvel Rivals because that's just kind of the staple multiplayer if I'm just killing the evening type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fucking dude, this game is so good. It has for what, a $50 game, I think is what it is.
I think it was $50.
Yeah, $50 game. it's incredible. If it was a $70 game, I'd still be stoked on it. Like this, I have 22 hours into it right now. I am, I don't know how far into Act 2 I am,
22
but
hours and you're only into Act 2?
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Granted, I've just been exploring, doing a bunch of stuff, which is interesting, right? Because sometimes you'll walk into like this area and you're like, yeah, okay, I can get here, so surely everything will be fine, right? It's not fine. It's not fine at all. Sometimes it's hell. I after I walked in, did my attacks, realized the health bar didn't really move, and I got one-shotted by everything. I was like, hey, maybe we should go somewhere else. And I've done that a couple times now. So there's some stuff that I've been taking notes on, which I don't typically do, but I really want to see almost everything in this game and do as much as I possibly can. So I've been taking notes on areas I need to go back to once I get higher level. I obviously I'm gonna try to keep it pretty spoiler free, so I won't say too much. But yeah, I mean this story is wild. Like I read something the other day that the head writer for this actually was hired as a voice actress for the essentially like the proof of concept for this initially, and then ended up getting brought in as a writer. And this is some of my favorite video game writing that I have probably ever experienced in a game.
Crazy pivot.
Yeah, it's wild, and she fucking killed it for the record.
That's
Like this
awesome.
it's so good. A small studio, like everything about this game is just so charming. Everything's fantastic. The character designs, like they have this very unique, almost like steampunky type of look to them, while still being somewhat futuristic. It almost has there's like almost like a Fallout vibe without like the really like 1950s era type of thing, but that like mix of modern and retro. And God, they just do such a really good job on it. I have unlocked a million costumes at this point, like costumes and hairstyles and all sorts of stuff. And half the time I keep them in their default just because it's the default was so well designed that it's almost hard to imagine them wearing anything else
That's
or having
nuts.
even a different hairstyle. It all looks perfect. The gameplay is incredible. Um, Boy, I was talking with Steve. Steve is our resident JRPG guy or RPG guy, and me as well, right? And so a lot of times we'll be playing the same game, except for he mainlines or he doesn't mainline. He just has more time to sit down and actually just fucking power through them.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about it a lot as I go, which he doesn't spoil anything for me, and I just tell him where I'm at because I know he's already finished the game. But yeah, man. As I come up on different things, he's like, "Yeah, man, this next part's really cool," or whatever it is, and we get to have that like water cooler moment, kind of, because there's a few other people in the server that I think have briefly checked it out. I know
He touched it a little
Evan's like an eighth of the way through the first act, maybe. And he was kind of talking about that a little bit earlier, and he's like, "Yeah, I really like this combat system." I'm like, yeah, this combat system's incredible. He's like, are there other games like this? Like, I mean, turn-based, yes, there's a million
Go play
turn-based
Final
games.
Fantasy, Evan.
Yeah, right. But I was like, what you probably like about this is the parrying, the dodging. Like, there are some turn-based games that do a little bit of that, but it's usually not like a complete negate of whatever that damage might have been. But in this case it is, and it's also vitally important to what you're doing, and all of the combat, everything's balanced around the idea of, hey, you know how to dodge, or hey, you know how to parry. um Boy, man, this combat system is truly something special, and I really hope they continue to do this. And I also hope that this puts a huge, like, not necessarily a, I don't know. It's kind of a conflicting thing where I'm like, I want this team to get their flowers and be able to continue to do this, but I also don't want too much of a look at it, because then some big exec is gonna come in and try to change everything, and that's gonna fucking suck. But man, this game is truly something special. Like I said, 22 hours. I just checked before we started here, and I played for 6 hours straight today.
Oh, that's so sweet. I miss those days.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but I was able to sit down and the wife was working, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna just invest a bunch of time in this. It's not gonna be the middle of the night type of thing like it usually is." And really got a solid chunk knocked out. Was mainly doing a lot of story stuff, and then kind of circled back to some more side things, and then found out I still wasn't quite where I wanted to be in order to access some of that. So I decided to go back to mainline stuff, and then I'll swing back later on. But
Then I
man,
called
it's
you.
just yeah. And then Nick called me in the middle of it and threw my groove off for the entire thing. It's fine. But man, I really this game, for it to not be my game of the year this year, would be absolutely shocking to me.
That's wild.
And I would not be surprised if this game has worked its way into one of my top games of all time, like easily top 10, maybe even encroaching on that top 5. It is that fucking good. Um, I hope obviously I don't know where the story is going to end and how that all plays out, but I would love to see an expansion for this game eventually. Like it's going to be one of those games that I can already feel myself getting to the end of it and being upset that I'm at the end of it type of thing and not
Love that.
wanting to finish it, which I've done with a handful of different games, right? Like Breath of the Wild, I did that. I got all the way to the end. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to finish it. um, but man, it's truly it's this perfect storm of just so many good decisions, so much good writing and characterization, and every character in your party is likable that you meet for different reasons. The even the one character that I won't say I'd never or I didn't like her. She just kind of wasn't the character I gravitated towards, and I really don't use her in my party personally. But um, even she's kind of starting to get to that point where I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here, right? Because you have those when you go to your camp, you get to kind of interact with the different party members and kind of get a feel for, learn more about them, learn more about your character, and just kind of get that lore dump in a way that feels very natural and actually works so much better than something like I'm thinking of like Persona, right? Or like
Okay.
those where you have those interactions that are like, oh yeah, you furthered your friendship or whatever it is. This genuinely feels like you're furthering a friendship and like you're literally trauma bonding over the awful shit that has happened to everyone in this story. Um, but it's the only thing that I would change, and it's such a minor thing and something I never really would have even thought of, except for Metaphor. ReFantasio did it last year. When you got into combat, there was a button you could press to literally restart the combat. And it was such a nice quality of life thing that made, instead of having to like just offer up your characters to fucking die so you could start the battle over or something of that nature, it really allowed, like, if you got a bad start or you fucked up or you weren't paying attention or whatever it may be, you could just restart the combat real quick and start from the beginning and go right into it. This would really benefit from something like that. Granted, I also think it's kind of probably more of a decision that they actively made. Um, One, it's not very common in most RPGs or anything of that nature, but they also kind of lean into some of those like Dark Soulsy type of things where you got to go back to your last save point.
Which I like.
Granted, a lot of their levels have actually been designed like if you're going to go fight a hard boss, there's usually an item to pick up shortly before them, or like one of the flags that you can rest at right before them type of thing. So it is planned in such a way that if when you pick up an item, it also saves the game. So if you die right after you pick up an item, you just go back to where you pick up that item, which is
That's
really really
nice.
nice. Same for the like the flags that saves the game. That's also just like it's like your bonfires, right? But so most of the time you don't have to do like a long trek to get back there or something. But every once in a while there's one that you're like, ah, God, I gotta go through this. I gotta watch the cutscene again. It'd be awesome if I could just hit like a fucking F2 or whatever and restart the combat and go at it again, because this game is so like I said earlier, the parrying, the dodging is so important to this game that if you fuck it up once, like depending on the enemy you're facing, that character may be dead. So it just kind of depends on the
They're
situation,
permadeath?
how leveled. No, no.
Okay.
But like you could be down a character for the rest of the fight type of thing.
Which is,
So
yeah,
there.
handicap. Yeah, it sucks.
Oh yeah. So there's been a handful of times like I'll be in the groove, whatever, getting into the fight, and it sometimes you fuck up, and it's like, well, that attacked all three party members. They're all down to a sliver of life left, and what do I do? So it would be awesome to have that button, but again, that's a quality of life thing that I didn't necessarily expect, but Metaphor ReFantasio really like spoiled me with that, and I really would love to have it now. But other than that, man, this game is just truly such a treasure, and I can't wait to continue to play it. I want to see where the story's going. It's starting to unravel. You're starting to get those threads that you can pull and kind of see where things are going, but also they may completely flip it on its head. I don't know, right? Um, but yeah, I had something else I was gonna say about it, and it completely just slipped my mind as I was rambling there. But God, if you haven't checked this game out, especially if you have Game Pass, go check it out. It's so good. $50. I have it through Game Pass, and then I purchase like the costume pack thing that I don't even really use anything from.
Just
I just
support at
wanted
this
to give
point.
something to like throw their way, but also was like, I already paying for the service, and Xbox, put this together. They're getting their money, but at the same time, I was like, I do want to throw some support, right? But man, it is cool. It's really cool. It bridges that gap of turn-based combat and action in such a beautiful way that it appeals to such a larger audience than what a typical turn-based combat action game would be or whatever it may be. And I think I think this will become a template for games going forward. I think this will absolutely be like a style of RPG that we see, and I'm fucking ready for it.
Fantastic. If you had to
Yes.
give it any sort of rating right now, an obligatory rating, if you had to give it a rating, what would
Oh boy. I
you, if
don't
you had to?
typically do a whole lot of number ratings, right? I think I would give it like if we're going out of 10, right? God, I don't hand out 10s very often. Very, very rarely would I ever hand out a 10.
Very true.
That being said, I would probably put this at like a 9.5. And not even really for uh I I don't know, man. I am tempted to just be like it is a 10 for me personally. That I do see some small little things here and there, like they kind of force you into some platform, or not even force you. There's some platforming in the game which is really really clunky and can be very frustrating. But it's usually side content that it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, I I mean every character's so interesting. I don't know, man. I think I do lean towards that 10. And if not, I'd give it a 9.5 because it is truly such a special experience. And the story, unless something happens in the third act and the story like completely plummets and sucks really bad all of a sudden, which is not the vibe that I got from talking to Steve. I mean,
Not
I
the vibe I got
sounded
either.
like this. Yeah, it sounded like the story kind of fucked him up for a little bit.
It, he was
So
he was a certain way after he beat.
yeah.
Is this
Yeah, I think this is a 10, man. I really do.
is this giving Baldur's Gate 3 cultural vibes?
I don't know if it's quite that big of a touchstone.
Not yet, at
I
least.
Not yet. I do believe I saw something about it selling 2 million so far,
Not
and that's
bad.
not including people who have played it on Game Pass. I mean, that's people who are like buying it on Steam and Xbox,
Very
or
good.
I don't think it's on PlayStation yet. I can't remember,
I
but
can't either.
um yeah, I mean, 2 million is pretty good for a $50 game that from a
First game.
studio, a first game. Like, yeah, that's pretty fucking good. And I imagine it's going to continue to gain steam. Like, I think it will continue to. I bet this ends up closer to like 5, maybe that's too much of a stretch. I don't know. But I bet it hits 4, right? Especially as it goes on sale and more people pick it up
Yeah.
and things of that kind of nature. But yeah, Baldur's Gate was such like perfect lightning in a bottle that I just don't know if this isn't replicating that by any means. God, Baldur's Gate was just such
That
a
was
special thing, right?
that was quite the moment in the server when Baldur's Gate 3 came out and we all played it. I wish I had finished it, but for those who listen to the show and on streams, you know I am not doing that right now because I'm still very mad that a character of mine who I spent a lot of time with, a lot of hours with, and did everything I wanted to do with that character. My hair's
At
getting out of
first,
place.
dude.
Look at that. You know, because I'm getting frustrated.
Just thinking
Um,
about it.
the save got corrupted. Don't hear that often sometimes nowadays, but it did. So, anyways, awesome.
It's
No,
all
that
that Russian porn you were watching.
ugh, cigarettes and
Ugh.
vodka.
Yeah, I don't kink shame.
I think the women hit you in that.
Oh, for sure.
Just like that family, like wrong pig and Family Guy. Oink. That's like them in the. We're not going down like the weird Russian porn thing. Ugh.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like we are.
You did it. I didn't even do this.
Oh, I'm sorry. My
Brody's. You want to talk about this?
bad.
This
uh, so yeah, Expedition 33 is all I've been playing.
what the
It's a fucking
fuck?
perfect 10 for me. Nick watches weird fucking Russian porn. What have you been playing though?
First and foremost, I don't watch Russian. I support Ukraine. Okay, so we're
Fair
boycotting
enough.
anything Russian here. Um, just alienated an entire. That's fine. I so I got to play Arc Raiders.
Oh yeah,
I don't
very
know if
good.
there's an end.
Yeah, don't say too much while I look that up.
uh, I also obviously been playing Doom 1, 2. I'm not playing 2016 or Eternal right now to get ready for Dark Ages. So I'm waiting for that. Um, it's really it, man. I haven't been playing a fucking lot of any. I haven't. They're an NDA.
No, it does
Okay,
not appear that way.
okay. Arc Raiders is better than Marathon. This game is. Oh, they denied us, by the way. So fuck you, buddy. They denied us as
I
creators.
got in.
Yeah, but they
Oh,
denied.
as creators.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you
Uh,
get to be choosy right now, Bungie. If I were you, I would, I would,
yeah, no
I would
shit.
call it down. Not that I'm bitter, because I'm not. Anyways, um, no, Arc Raiders is great. Marathon was also cool. It's a lot of love, but that was something. The movement in that game, the sound design, maps, weapons, the teamwork, the playing with your friends, the playing just full on the map, and having. I played the last day, so I think everybody was going KOS. But
Oh,
from
yeah.
when I watched Evan, there were people chatting. There were people like, "Hey, I'm just here. Like, I need to do
Well, yeah.
this." And
I
like,
mean, you're in a world that the least scary thing is another player. Like,
exactly. And you see like for like Arc Raiders, that is the difference between a game like this and Daisy. And
yeah,
that is the difference between this and a game like Marathon. Arc Raiders, I felt like the world was out to get me, but the players, yeah, there was some ass. But the players were just like, I'm trying to survive like you, man. We don't have to fight. If you want to fucking fight, we'll go down that road. We don't have to. Whereas in
yeah.
like DayZ, and there was urgency in Arc Raiders, so that this way I can go back to both points. In DayZ, everyone's an asshole. I'm an asshole.
Mhm.
I'm a piece of shit. DayZ. I'll tell you we're friends, and then I'll knock you out and handcuff you, and then I'll just teabag you for an hour. I don't care. I'm an
That
asshole.
is the most Nick coded shit I've ever fucking heard.
I've done it. I've done it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, but I don't know what that. Oh, but
Oh,
oh, marathon. When I played Marathon, there was no urgency. There was no sense of urgency. There was no sense of purpose. It looked cool and it played fun. But Arc Raiders looked cool, played fun, and I felt a reason to play it. Every moment on the map was tense in a good way. Even when you're with a party, like I said, encountering players felt really fucking fresh. And there was a couple players where they were trying to do something. They looked at me and went, "Just passing through." I went, "For sure." They'd be like, but you just see them like lean over and be like, "Passing through." Then you'd be like, "I got it." And then you just hear them going down the stairs, be like, "I've passed through." And I'm like, "Yes, you did." And it was just those moments where I was like, "This is cool." Like, there's,
Yeah.
but again, I really go back to that sound design and the movement and the maps. Bar none, phenomenal work here. Phenomenal work. These were class act sound design, class act movements, fluid when you're going up ladders or when you're zip lining or you're climbing up like a hill or you're falling and sliding and then just grab your gun and go. It is seamless. It is fluid. It is a continuous motion. And I just haven't played anything like that in a long, long, long time. Arc
Yeah.
Raiders, I cannot wait for the full release. And if this was on our NDA and I broke it, I praised you. Don't sue. Don't be a dick. So I'm giving you like top tier praise, right? Like because it was that impressive. But really, wow, all this like moving around is probably good for the audience. Really, that's all I've really played. I'm gearing up for Doom, which is on Monday, actually. So by the time Monday
You
rolls,
get the early access, right? If you
yeah,
paid for the premium.
yeah, or if you paid for the collector's edition, like I did.
Well, yeah. I it the basic release for us regular people that comes out Friday, Thursday, whatever it is. It's the day I go back to work from my
He is
vacation.
not
My
happy.
12-day vacation. It's fine.
I will say, to top off Doom, I did get the Doom Xbox controller. This thing feels nice. It's like textured all around, which I actually didn't think I was gonna like. I
Is
figured
it
I
the is it a base or is it the
base. I
an
did not.
elite? Okay.
They made an elite. I didn't really, but it was black and like didn't
Oh,
look like the Doom.
I was gonna
Like
say
looks like the
that one
armor,
looks good.
like Doom guy's
Yeah.
armor. It's got the sigil right there. It's like this is just like top tier. Like I was like that's the one. And I think the other one was like two.
Yeah.
I'm not paying.
Yeah, probably. I think those special edition elites are usually pretty pricey.
I'm not spending that on a controller. I spent
No.
$70 on this. Happy with it. Um,
No.
so to talk to me about Doom, I'm very obviously incredibly excited for that. Like, this is a game I've been waiting
No.
for a long time.
No.
I plan to because what I'm seeing, the first 9 levels are like 12 hours long, and it's a
Oh damn.
22 level game. This is a big Doom. These are
Yeah.
big maps, tons of enemy variety. They just released a video earlier today of the BFC, the big fucking
Big fucking
crossbow.
chair. Oh,
Big fucking crossbow. That's not what it's at. Well, in lore, I'll always
yeah.
refer to it as the BFC. But like all the new enemy types, all returning enemy types from old Doom games, it's all here, man. If you're a Doom fan, you are eating good. If you purchased early this Monday, and if you're getting it Thursday, you're still eating good. Single player only. Chef's kiss. We don't need it unless you're gonna do a whole dedicated multiplayer thing. I don't need a multiplayer in the
Which
Doom.
the multiplayer in like the more recent Dooms just I mean it's been fine,
They're
but
not that great.
why dedicate the resources to it when it's not yeah, it's
Focus on the
whatever.
story. You know,
Yeah.
I like the direction we're going in here, where it's you're a walking tank, you're a young Doom guy, you know, that's gonna be fucking awesome. There's just a lot here that I'm excited for. It looks gorgeous as well. So Doom Dark Ages this Monday for me. You guys will hear more about Doom from me when because you're working nights on Thursday.
No.
Oh, you
I'll
just
be
go
off
back
next
to work.
week.
You might get a record
I go
next week.
back Friday. Yep.
So you'll hear. Are you?
Why wouldn't I?
You'll hear more about Doom from me on Thursday with Brody. Brody's like, "What is your problem?"
What are you fucking on about, man?
Um,
Also, at what point does a big fucking crossbow kind of teeter on that line of being a ballista?
you do the research. I don't, that fucked me. I didn't like that. Don't put fucking science in the. I know it's
I mean, there's
edutainment.
got to be like a fucking some point. It just is.
Hey,
It's just a fucking
hey, it's basically
ballista. Okay, I was just curious.
thanks, bro. Anyways, fuck, man. I feel deflated.
Oh no, no, I was just curious. It was fucking just a
Stop
question.
talking like that. Fucking.
Okay, all right.
Who's that science guy on YouTube that you look like?
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you. Anyways, so
Fuck
get ready
you.
for Doom Dark Ages. Um, got a little bit of news here. Death Stranding two was shown off today. This is gonna be super quick. Showed off footage on a base PS5, captured at 60 frames a second, and it looks photorealistic. Game looks insane. So Kojima, whatever wizardry you're doing, very cool. Um, then we also had GTA that was delayed till next year.
Shocker.
No one here is shocked. Me and Brody actually, I think earlier on in this year, were like, "There's no way it's coming out." Fall.
No. No, we hadn't seen anything else since that initial trailer. And but the funny thing was like right up until that point they were doubling down like, "Oh yeah,
Hard as fuck.
it's yeah, it's gonna release
Don't
this year.
worry.
It has to." And it was like I think they even had something in their like quarterly report that was like, "Oh yeah, big game coming out at the end of the year." Well, it turns out that must be Borderlands 4 that they're banking
Or
on.
Max Payne, because
I
Remedy,
don't
Rockstar's
yeah.
releasing Max Payne.
I
Remedy's
yeah,
working on it.
I don't think Max Payne is probably what they're hanging their hat on being their huge release. It's very popular, but I think you get very skewed in what you think is popular
I'm not
because
excited
you're
for
in a weird little
Borderlands.
bubble. No, no, you aren't, and I'm not necessarily either, right? But that is Borderlands is probably going to make more money than a Max Payne release.
Can we agree that the Max Payne re-releases are gonna be way more fun than Borderlands? They're gonna be cooler, better games.
Yeah, but the they don't care
I know,
about that in their
I know,
quarterly report.
I know. Anyways, god dang
um,
it.
but yeah, so they released another trailer for GTA, and at the end of we already knew it was delayed. We didn't know when the next release date was, and there was a release date at the end of May 26th, 2026. So we are over a year away from GTA 6, and I feel like we have been perpetually a year away for like what 2 years now.
I don't want to talk about anybody having to wait for a franchise that they like.
Yeah,
Specu-
fair.
I'll just do it really quick. We're gonna end the show here in a minute. We're gonna put a little top hat on it soon. The speculation is, and I don't agree with it. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. I don't agree. People think because that got delayed to expect a Half-Life 3 announcement in the summer with a winter release. I
Let
rolled
me
my
go
eyes
get
to.
my tinfoil hat.
I don't think
Like, goddamn.
if that happens, first and foremost, if that were to happen, I, I, okay, fine. I'm a good little boy. I'm taking time off my new job. I'm not going in. If my boss hears it, you already knew that.
I am pretty sure that Rockstar would not be avoiding Half-Life 3.
I don't think either of them
Not
would be.
not because Half-Life 3 is not going to do fucking incredible, but they are entirely
They're
different
different
games.
games. Neither of those
Like,
companies fear each other because they both
no.
they're the two biggest fish in the sea. They don't care. They're oh
No, they don't
you're
give a
releasing
fuck.
Half Life. I'm gonna release GTA, and then they go, okay. Oh, you're
Yeah.
releasing GTA. We're gonna release Half Life. They go, sick. All
Cool.
right. Because
Yeah.
the weird thing is because there are people from Rockstar who do have worked at Valve to help
Yeah.
with the next Valve single player experience, and Valve employers who were there. So it's like that's where the speculation came from that there was employee cannibalism almost, and it's like
Yeah.
that Gabe Newell and the Rockstar CEO isn't sitting there going, "Oh, why don't we just cause discourse?" It, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason I'm wrong, I would love to be wrong, but I don't see it.
Our fantasy critic did change it had Half-Life 3 and it changed it to just mainline Half-Life game.
Because people don't think it's going to be called Half-Life. People think it's going to be called like Half-Life X or HF. It's going to be called Half-Life
Right,
3.
because they're not gonna do 3. They're gonna do
Out of
I don't
spite,
doubt
out of
that they are going
spite.
to do.
Oh,
I don't doubt they will continue doing Half-Life games. I just don't think it's going to be Half-Life 3. I don't think you will ever see
it's
Half-Life 3.
going. It's
It
gonna.
will,
They're
even
gonna
if it is
finish.
the spiritual
Okay.
Half-Life
Okay.
3, it will never be called Half-Life
No,
3.
there's no way they're calling it Half-Life 3.
Not a fucking
There's
chance.
no way. And if they do, it's gonna be like the number 3 spray painted on a wall somewhere in the
Yeah,
game, and then it's gonna be like,
for
there, we
sure.
did it, and it's like,
Right.
okay, fine. But yeah, no, GTA being delayed is not shocking. The trailer they released looks pretty. It was
Yeah.
captured on a PS5. That is incredibly impressive for the fidelity of detail that you are able to see in this. Technology looks like it's blooming and bursting. That's nothing new. Brody and myself, we've always known a technical marvel to look
Oh
at.
yeah.
It's cool, man. I mean, more time into again, man. I would rather do this than beat Cyberpunk. Right? Cyberpunk, when it was being shown off, was what GTA 6 is being shown off like. Right? You look at it, you're like, no way, that's a game. No
Yeah.
way. And then it comes out, it's like, yeah, there was no way. For then a year later, it's like, oh, hey, it's a game. Cool, I like this game. But I mean,
Right.
time in the oven,
Uh,
cool. I'm fine with it.
yeah, and what they're showing off has been good, right? Like it wasn't just cutscene stuff. It looked like gameplay
It
stuff.
was a
Like
mix, they
everything
said.
looks really, yeah. And there was, I mean, I like the character portrayals that they have going on
Yeah.
so far. There's like Bonnie and Clyde type shit for sure. Um, but yeah, it's man, I don't know. It's I'm in a weird spot, right? Like I want GTA 6. I'm disappointed that it's just going to be on PlayStation at launch, which is not where I want
And
to play it.
Xbox.
I if well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's not coming to PC. That sucks, right?
That's a boner kill, yeah.
Because if I have games on PlayStation that I would love to go finish, but I just can never bring myself to go sit at my fucking PlayStation and play. So, that sucks for me personally. But the other side of it is, God, it feels like Bigfoot at a certain point. Like I feel like every time we get closer to when this is supposed to release, it gets pushed back another 6 months or another year or whatever it may be. So it's just kind of hard for me to get really excited for it until we actually get to play it.
Yeah.
And it is once it fucking goes gold, like okay, cool. But up until that point, I'm just kind of eh. Honestly, I didn't even watch the trailer until today.
Yeah.
When we were talking about what this episode was gonna be, and I was like, yeah, I should probably go watch that fucking trailer real quick. But it's just I find it hard to get interested in it just because it is so far off. Especially when there's a lot of interesting things that are coming out this year, right? Like we're a couple weeks or we're a week away from Doom. We're a couple weeks away from Night Rain. We're like
Yeah.
I have Expedition 33 right now. Like
The Midnight
there's
Walk just released.
yeah, there's a lot of good shit out there, and so instead of just like fucking cannibalizing everything to focus on a game that's still over a year out, like I'd rather just focus on other shit type of thing. But that being said, you can't avoid it. Like it's GTA
GTA.
6. It's fucking GTA is just this juggernaut of a game that never seems to die. I mean, even GTA 5 is still going strong, which is fucking wild to me, especially considering it's what 12, 13 years old now. It came
Yeah,
out
just
in 2012, 2013. I can't remember exactly, but my god, dude, it the staying power of that franchise, especially once they added that online mode, like wild.
Wild,
Um,
absolute.
but I am excited. This game looked fucking gorgeous. And watching like the breakdown from Digital Foundry on it and how they were like, "Hey, this is incredible what they have done here." And I don't doubt that it's going to be, right? Like they showed off all of these different character models and how like different kinds of clothing hung off of them differently based on
Hair,
the rig that they had for that character model. Like it's fucking impressive. You see the pores in their arms, like
the
it's
muscles, like it's not just like
yeah,
double arm. This is like actual like
yeah.
it's like a definition. It's like whoa, this is
It actually looks like a person, like crazy.
yep.
But man, it is cool. It is exciting in a sense, but I just kind of do hate that it takes the air out of the room anytime anyone mentions anything about GTA type of thing, you know? It just kind of sucks for everyone else because it's like there's so many good games out
It
there, and there's so many good games coming out constantly, and uh to focus on the juggernaut that doesn't need the extra attention is
yeah.
kind of crazy, but yeah, you can't avoid it to a certain extent. But man, we're eating pretty good this year, if I do say so myself. There's been some good shit.
Yeah, we're eating incredibly
Xbox
well.
has been killing it with their first party studios, like the Oblivion remaster. They've got Expedition 33, they got Doom. Like it's impressive to see them doing what they set out to do years and years ago, and we're finally getting to the point that it's starting to pay off, as they start to transition into being essentially a software company with a little bit of hardware.
That handheld is ugly as fuck.
Yeah,
That was the ugliest pile of dog shit I've ever seen in my life.
I don't even.
Look up
Oh, the
the ROG Xbox handheld.
yeah, ROG doesn't really make a good looking handheld, but
No,
they are pretty impressive for what they
I'm
are.
sure it's gonna run great, but I'm not walking around. I'd rather my Steam Deck looks cool. That looks like it. But
Yeah, that one's that looks almost identical to what the original ROG looks like,
I'm
except for with more gamer lights.
I'm so good on that. You guys will hear about GTA one more time with myself and Evan when we do a full breakdown of both trailers. Evan and I are gonna do that. But other than that, we're not talking about GTA really until there's A, more news, B, we get closer to the release. I'm not gonna my breath other than one more episode on it. There's no point. No point. There's so many good things coming out right now. We got Summer Game Fest right around the corner. Got even
Yeah.
more shit to talk.
Sounds like Xbox is gonna have a hell of a showing too, because they just announced the Gears
On PlayStation,
whatever the fuck it is.
Reloaded or whatever.
Reloaded, yeah. Which people were upset about, which I found very strange. They're like, we don't need a remaster of this. I'm like, well, nobody got mad when they did it for The Last of Us like a fucking year later
Uh,
and then remastered it again.
we do need a remaster of Gears.
Yeah,
Why would
absolutely. They did that. They did that
the
like
Marcus Phoenix
slight.
collection? No.
Well, they did a remaster that wasn't. It was like a fresh coat of paint on it, essentially. Like I had fucking I
Better
don't know
lighting, probably. I mean,
7 8 years ago. Like yeah, no, I would love to get a trilogy. Like get yeah, even if it was just like 1 2 and 3 remastered, that'd be
fine
fucking
with me.
sweet.
Well, dude, it's not even about that. It's the biggest focus here is on PlayStation.
Which is wild.
That is,
Having Gears on PlayStation, I still can't believe they haven't released Halo Infinite on PlayStation,
it's
just the
coming.
multiplayer
It's
side of it.
coming.
Yeah,
That's gonna be the
I
next big
seems
thing.
like a no-brainer. That game needs the player base. It would be a huge boon to everything there. Like I can't believe it hasn't happened yet.
Don't worry, PlayStation players. We'll be gentle. Gears. None of you know how to crab walk. They don't know what that is.
I would maybe load up Gears just for that reason. It would be fun.
Oh, just a dude,
Yeah.
my 12-year-old
Welcome to Gears
rage.
of War, motherfucker.
Yeah, welcome. I'm gonna fucking what is it? We're gonna cap off here. I'm gonna go to the truck on gridlock, shoot up with the boomer, perfect reload, vault onto the bed of the truck, under the map, and then aim up and shoot. That's how you win that on gridlock back in the day.
Oh, you're a piece of shit.
Ooh, spider walk. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
You go on the fucking what are those things called? Medians.
Mm-hmm.
The median. What is it? You perfect reload, hop over, crouch,
Yeah, there was a lot of weird glitches.
and then
Yeah.
you just spider walk.
Fucking
Fucking bleh.
bah.
Bleh. All right, that's where we're capping off, everybody. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Again, please check out our episodes. Fun. We have good times. Quick question, Brody. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
are we
Mm-hmm.
recording your next D&D campaign?
Yes, we will. We are still a ways off. I am waiting to get backstories from everyone so I can start
Bring mine
building.
in pretty fast.
Yep. Yeah, I'm still waiting on probably half the players yet to get me backstories so I can actually build the world around them. I have an idea of where I'm going with it, but I want to incorporate everybody into it a lot more than what I had in the past, where it's just kind of like shoehorned in there to, hey, look, you're here. So I'm like building an outline for what I have, and then I'm going to go deeper into details and getting more information. So right now I'm waiting on more information from my players, and then I will get to building. And yeah, we will be recording it though. And the way this is going to be set up is there's actually two individual parties running like a simultaneous campaign essentially, because I didn't want a party of fucking 19 people again. So there's just two parties of four, and it should be a lot of fun. And they have no idea how it's interconnected or anything of that nature. They're literally starting on other ends of the continent, so it should be a good time.
Roll for Deception returns triumphantly very soon. So be on look very soonish. So be on lookout for that.
Hopefully this summer sometime.
Yeah, WASD and Beyond is every Friday, followed by every Saturday your horror show that we now make with myself, Alex, and Noah, called It Came from SCREAMBOX, presented by us and SCREAMBOX. Thank you for sponsoring this segment of the show, SCREAMBOX and Cineverse. Please check out the sponsors of the show. Got merch coming out. Final Boss is dropping the Andor drop today with all of the leftovers from the CS drop, and I believe Duke. Check that out. Doc Longy's got his MF Doom Dare Rip t-shirt. So if you like MF Doom and like the Dare logo, you got to buy that shirt. That shit looks dope. It just says Doom across the shirt. Dare logo. It is amazing. Um, check out Screenbox as in code SB38. Check out $38 here for endless amounts of horror that you can feast your eyes upon. Go see the Toxic Avenger in theater this summer. Ops is way into theaters. It's going to be a bloody, fantastic event. Be there unrated, by the way. So
Hell yeah.
that everybody